Now I know what y'all thinking. What? He's doing a review? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm kicking off the reviews again for my channel. This time, the reviews are going to be for. I'm doing the review for, WWE Smackdown. But I'm not going to be doing it all in this, No. That was just for giggles. But no, yeah, welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review from WWE Friday Night Smackdown, emanating here from Cleveland, Ohio, my state of home, my home. It was here yesterday. Yeah, we're gonna jump straight into it. But I just want to say thank you for everybody who's joining and watching. The reviews are back, and like I said, not just for wrestling, but for everything I do now. Now the reviews are back on the channel. But SmackDown started with John Cena, right? John Cena, like he promised on Raw and that Money in the Bank, he basically was going to be here to confront Roman Reigns. So he comes out, he basically says that he's happy to be here. He said he feels the energy from the Cleveland crowd, and he just ecstatic, and he explaining his reason for why he wants to challenge Roman Reigns. He says that I want to challenge Roman Reigns because Roman as champion on SmackDown sucks. So he says that he wants to end that because Roman is an egotistical jerk who's been who's been protected, and that's coming from somebody like him who basically was protected. But yeah, so he basically calls Roman right now and tells him that this is the thing. I'm challenging you to a match, to the main event match at SummerSlam. Me and you 1-on-1 for the Universal Championship, and out comes Paul Heyman. After a while of waiting, I might add, out comes Paul Heyman, who basically tells John Cena that he got everything all wrong, and that it's not that he can't see you, he just can't hear you because you're not even on his radar. He's not even thinking about you. But as for your challenge, he will be out later on tonight to address your challenge on his time, where Roman Reigns is ready. And he's going to let you know that the champ and the tribal chief is here. Making fun of John Cena's little quote, and then he started doing John Cena's intro. He said, I'm like, dang, he messing with John Cena. But yeah, that would go into the first match of the night, which is Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. Good match, back and forth, tie up. We got the usual stick, Finn Balor panning to the crowd, Sami Zayn being a jerk. Sami would get drop kicked a couple of times into the towards the end of the match. He got drop kicked I want to say 2 or 3 times into the ring post, and then the third time he fell finally in the drop zone, and Finn Balor would hit him with the coup de grace for the win. We would then transition to a backstage promo with Baron Corbin. I guess he was being interviewed by Kayla, and Kayla would just tell him, would ask him about his recent troubles, and he just basically how he had to take the bus to work, and he said, you know what it smells like when you gotta take the bus to work and all that type of stuff, and he doesn't know what's going on with him anymore. And then Big E will be another promo with Big E. I called it a Money in the Bank promo because he's basically talking about how he basically about to talk about this the first SmackDown since he won the Money in the Bank. So he's basically come out to the crowd in Cleveland, saying, doing the same thing, saying how happy he is to be the Money in the Bank. He was delighted. Making fun of the fact that he said me climbing up ladders and all that type of stuff, but he did what he had to do to become Mr. Money in the Bank. A+ to the WWE for actually going through with that and making Big E Mr. Money in the Bank. That was the one thing in Money in the Bank I actually wanted, and that was one of the things I wanted and I got. I'd rather have Liv Morgan won the women's, but I'm happy that it was either Liv Morgan or Nikki Ash, whatever. But yeah, he just cuts the promo, but he gets interrupted by Apollo Crews, who comes out to taunt Big E about, say, hey, congratulations on being Mr. Money in the Bank, but I also beat you for the Intercontinental Championship. But then he will get interrupted by Cesaro, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler, and even King Nakamura, who all came out to basically state their claim for the Intercontinental Championship, which resulted in a brawl. The brawl basically was like all the faces versus all the heels that came out, and the face ended up standing tall, but it never really went nowhere other beyond that for the rest of the night. And then here comes like a swerve twist. They're in Miami. For some reason, they announced it throughout the night that they was going to be emanating. They was be making history, emanating from two places. Smackdown was going to be. It was obviously here, like I said, here in Cleveland. But then now they emanating from Miami at the Miami Gardens, Rolling Loud, where I guess it's some type of it was a Smackdown rap concert mixer. Cause it was Wale, Rick Ross, and Ray Shimurda, and all of them was there. Though you didn't get to see this though. I'm like, wait a minute, so we're not going to see the performances? We only got to see the okay. So the second match was it started off with once we got there, Wale introduced the Street Profits for this second match of the night, and there was the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins versus Chad Gable, with Otis and Montez Ford at ringside. And it was an okay match, it went back and forth, but then Dawkins would get the win by hitting a double-handed choke slam / spine buster finisher to get the win over that. But then Bianca Belair would come out for the third match of the night, which was Bianca Belair versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship for the second time in 2 weeks. It itself was a good back and forth match. We had some good tie-ups, good power moves. We had Bianca displaying her strength, power out of some Carmella's holds. Carmella would put like a sleeper hold like guillotine, because it wasn't a full guillotine, but it wasn't a full sleeper hold either. But she would power out of that to hit Carmella with the Kiss of Death or the KOD, wherever way you prefer, the KOD or the Kiss of Death. She would hit her with that, and she would get the 1, 2, 3, and she's still your champion. I'm kind of confused by why they're in Miami, but okay. And I don't understand that why they're in Miami. I really don't at all. I'll get into that later on, but let's see. Switching my notes here. Let's see. Where did we go from here? Third match. Yep. So Backstage Segment, right? We got Backstage Segment with Kevin Owens and Santi and Tegan Knox, or as they've been known now since they put up to the main roster, just Santi and Knox. He was basically trying to help them fix the tank. Santi and Knox are in pit crew uniforms. They try to fix the tank, and then it cuts to Kevin after his failed attempt to help them. He ended up bumping into Baron Corbin, who tried to apologize. Kevin's just like, you've been a dick, a butthole to everybody for a long time now, so you can't be surprised that people don't want to help you. But, Kevin noticed that Baron Corbin got the same shirt on, and it even got like spaghetti stains, which Baron Corbin says, I've been eating spaghetti out of a can, all that type of stuff. Kevin's just like, oh God, you know what? Fine, I'm going to help you. He gave him some money. He says this goes a long way. I really am sorry about what I did last week, and just really going to help me. And then the Santi, we forget Santi and them still in the background. So to test to see if they got they fixed the tank, Santi hits the button, and the tank shoots out this little rocket into Baron Corbin's components. Baron Corbin is just on the ground in pain. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode happens to be there, so they basically try to take advantage and take Dolph Ziggler's money that was given. I said Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin's money that was given to him by Kevin Owens, and but Kevin Owens would chase them off, and would chase them off and tell them, hey, get out of here. And that was the first segment back in Cleveland since we started emanating from Miami for some reason, So now that we back in Cleveland again, like I said with that promo, we get to the next promo, which is the Edge promo. Edge comes out basically, he's loving the energy he's getting from the Cleveland crowd. He's telling them that he's enjoyed it, that he needed this, that he missed it, that he worked hard to get back here, that he worked hard to get back to them, to get them back, and that he should be here as the Universal Champion. But he's not because Seth Rollins, and he basically tells Seth Rollins, hey, the world of hurt and pain that you're about to be in is so significant because I've been part of the brood. I've been part of the ministry of darkness. I learned from the sickest minds in this business how to torture and hurt somebody, and that's what you're about to get in spades. To which Seth Rollins come out and basically explain himself by saying that one of the reasons why he did what he did is because he can't stand people like Edge and John Cena, who are part-timers who come back and jump the line and take opportunities from people like him, and that since Edge did that, he's delighted into crushing Edge's dreams. He said that he initially was coming out to talk about how he didn't like the Cleveland crowd or Cleveland, and he was gonna talk about how I was gonna talk about how I don't like Cleveland, how I don't like people like you, all that type of stuff. But he's actually said, I'm actually glad that you're out here. He kept calling him old grandpa Edge, and that he telling him that the next time he get a chance to put his foot on the back of Edge's surgically prepared neck, that he's not going to hesitate to pull the trigger. Edge told Seth, hey, look, I told you that if you come and get in this ring, I won't touch you. He said, I'm a liar. And Edge started brawling with Seth Rollins, to which he hit the execution on Seth, and then Seth rolled out of the ring after avoiding the spear, and then there you go. A little setup for SummerSlam between them two. We will get to the fourth match of the night, which is Toni Storm versus Zelina Vega, which was a good match. This was one of the great good matches of the night. It was a good debut match for Zelina Vega and Toni Storm. A little bit of jitters. I noticed that in the match. It was like a little bit of jitters. It's like they kind of was nervous and kind of not. So it's like it wasn't like fluid, but they got it together towards the end. Tony hit Zelina with a nice little headbutt and running hip to Zelina Vega on the ropes. Zelina Vega would hit a nice sunset flip on Toni Storm for the 2 count. Zelina would then hit her with a nice German suplex, and now her finisher went from the Storm 0 to the Storm 1, and she would get the victory over Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega, that match was actually one of the good matches of the night, but that was the fourth match of the night. Moving on. The fifth match on the night, which was the last match of the night, which was Dom versus Jimmy Uso, and it was a good match. And even though it was good, I couldn't get over the fact that it just had the same old. It was just a repeat of the Money in the Bank match, but in singles form, and it ended the same way with Jimmy getting the pinfall over Dom. With Jay putting his feet on Jimmy's back to keep him pinned down. But the good part of the match, I will say, was how Dom tried to pay homage to Eddie Guerrero, but he hit the first of the 3 amigos, but Jimmy would reverse it after where he went for the second attempt, and then he would mock Eddie Guerrero and go all like that. But once they got the victory, Roman Reigns would come out and cut his promo, doing his whole Tribal Chief intro. And he basically said, he heard John Cena's challenge, and he had problems with it. He said the problem he had with John Cena's challenge is that it was the same. He said you come out here and talk about me, but you came out here and pulled the same old stick. You came and pulled the same. He said you had the same kind of promo, same music, same clothes, same everything. He said it's like doing missionary. He said it's like doing missionary every night. And he said the Tribal Chief, I do give Roman that was a good promo. He was like, and the Tribal Chief, no, we don't get stimulated about that. We don't get motivated like that. You know what I'm saying? That doing the same thing every night. But so he says in a nutshell, no. He's not gonna. He said we're not gonna see you, John. We're not gonna see you in the main event of Survivor Series because the answer to your challenge is no. I'm not gonna face you at Survivor Series. But then out comes Finn Balor. Finn Balor comes out and basically tells Roman, "Hey, since you don't want to challenge, since you don't want to accept John Cena's challenge, how about accepting my challenge?" And he said that he basically challenging Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Roman, but Roman, I forgot. I jumped the gun. I did jump the gun because I forgot that Roman was like, my tribal chief. As the tribal chief, my counsel here tells me that you came out here to do the same thing that John Cena did, and that is to acknowledge me. And then he was like, go ahead, acknowledge me. He said, no, I didn't come out here to acknowledge you. That's when he laid out the challenge. But Roman, after he just looking at Finn Balor, because Finn Balor challenging him, the crowd basically saying, yes, this is what we want. We want to see Finn Balor versus Roman. They chanting for it. And then when it looked like Roman still might have said no to even Finn Balor, the crowd is chanting, what are you scared? Roman scared. Roman scared. The Cleveland crowd trying to get Roman. And Roman, and pandering, try to go Roman into the 7-minute challenge. And that's what Roman did. They end the promo and the show by Roman Reigns basically telling Finn Balor that he accepts the challenge. So it looks like for right now, at least, it's going to be Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. But I think I want to say that where I think they're going with this is that it's probably going to be a triple threat match in the main event because they're going to put John Cena. They're going to find a way in their story to get John Cena into this match, and it's going to probably be a triple threat match for the Universal Championship. Overall, if I were to give this episode of SmackDown anything, I would give it 7.5 big ups, and that's just because the show was good. It was good. I won't say it was bad. There was stuff I liked. It was like I wouldn't say it was a great show or an amazing show, but it was between good and okay. It was like it could get good. It could get up to good in my opinion, but it couldn't get to great or amazing. It just could get to good. The things I had a problem with was like, I could go back to my notes. I had a problem with the fact with the useless backstage promo for Baron Corbin. The fact that Big E was cutting a promo and he didn't have he came out in his ring gear. We got the people coming out starting this brawl, but then it didn't turn into like a 4-man tag. I thought it was about to lead to a 4-man tag, but it's a 8-person tag or whatever. But it really didn't. It didn't lead nowhere. We didn't even get an announcement for next week. But I did like the promo from the beginning, but I didn't like how it ended. Let's see, what else? The whole SmackDown in Miami. Now, I almost went before the pandemic started. It was supposed to be, because this is supposed to be like the show that we were supposed to get before the pandemic started. SmackDown was going to come here to Cleveland. and I was supposed to get. I had a ticket to go to the front row and everything. I would have felt some type of way that two of the matches, the street, even if I didn't care about them, I paid my money to see these people live, and yet two of the matches, Angelo Dawkins and Chad Gable and Bianca Belair versus Carmella, why are they in Miami? I didn't pay to watch, to be there in person to watch on the screen them fight in Miami. I didn't pay for that. Now, unless they had matches that we didn't, while we were seeing the Miami match, maybe they had dark matches to entertain the crowd. I don't. Maybe they did have a dark match. Maybe they did have the Biggie, for the 8-man tag match. Maybe it was a dark match. I don't know. But from our perspective, watching it from home, the crowd here in Cleveland was watching Bianca Belair and the Street Profits on the screen. And if that's the case, I will not pay $100 to. I'm glad I didn't keep my ticket because that was just a waste of money. Two, I paid to see all you here. Pandemic or not, going. I know the pandemic is going on. Maybe that had something to do while they was in Miami. Maybe some of the wrestlers didn't want to travel, but this is what you sign up for. I expected to see you guys there, and that was a kind of a letdown. It was confusing too. Like it just took me out of it that we kept switching from Cleveland to Miami, but whatever. That was the things I found wrong. I didn't like the fact that it was emanating from the Miami Gardens. I didn't I didn't care for the Chad Gable match, the Chad and Angelo Dawkins, or the Bianca Belair match. And that's the same. That's the championship match. And I didn't care for it because it was the same match from last week with the same type of finish, the same everything. It was nothing different. Only thing that didn't happen was that Bianca didn't use her hair as a whip and get Carmella off her game. But she still ended up getting beat. So what was the point? And then the other thing too was like, if you're gonna emanate from Miami, at least give us the pleasure of seeing the performances. Like, why can't we see the rap performances that you had Wale on them there? We should be able to see that, Rick Ross and all of them. But other than that, there was some useless bash. I didn't like the fact that Sansi and Nash was relegated to backstage segment after having 2 outstanding victories over Natalya and Tamina. I didn't like that Kevin was relegated to a backstage segment. Other than that, everything, I liked the Edge promo, I liked the John Cena promo. For the most part, I did like the Big E promo. I did like Tony Storm's debut match. I didn't care for the Dom and Jimmy Uso match, but other than that, I like the Roman promo. So yeah, that was everything I liked and didn't like. But let me know in the comments down below what you thought of SmackDown. That's how I discuss it down below. What you thought of SmackDown and what you would have, how you would have done it. What you would have booked it differently. What you would have had it. Did you not like that it was emanating from 2 different places, or did you not mind that it was emanating from Cleveland and Miami? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of SmackDown. If you agree with my rating, or maybe you want to like me, tell me whatever. Just let me know. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the button right there. Oh, wrong way. Right here. That's the playlist for all of my SmackDown and Raw reviews and pay-per-views, all that. And if you really enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, then hit that like button and kill that subscribe button, or vice versa if you want to. And yeah, as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. Chief is out, but yeah, the reviews are back, and I got more coming. See ya.